Hello folks, this is John Lincoln, and today we will be discussing how to avoid billions of dollar losses by companies with the cultural arrogance and ignorance that they had before expansion into another market. As many of you might have assumed, this is not a big company problem. This cultural arrogance and ignorance could hit startups, small businesses, and mid-sized companies even harder because they do not have the funds to withstand such mistakes. Just imagine that you had invested millions to expand into a new country. The profit projections looked like they were personally blessed by the gods of spreadsheets. Your brand felt unstoppable. Then a tiny cultural ignorance or arrogance could knock your entire strategy into oblivion. Let us now go through a few examples of these colossal cultural blunders. Remember that the lessons from these examples are equally applicable for startups and small and medium businesses. Target in Canada is a great example of a large corporation which lost billions of dollars due to their cultural ignorance. On paper, it looked like a guaranteed win for Target, since many Canadians already love them through their shopping across the border. Canadians loved Target's clean store vibe and their affordable chic products. They were also aware of the legendary Target effect, where one goes to buy a toothpaste and end up with a cart full of everything else but the toothpaste. In 2013, Target went full throttle and grabbed leases from a failed Canadian retailer for about 220 locations. Target then opened 133 stores across Canada in a rapid-fire rollout. Target's promise in Canada was simple and relatable. It assured Canadians that they were getting the real Target experience. Unfortunately for Target, many Canadians felt that they were not getting a real Target experience. The first mistake that Target made was assuming that the Canadian shoppers were just Americans with a different slang. Target ignored the fact that city-dwelling Canadians shopped more frequently and bought smaller quantities. Target wrongly assumed that, like Americans, the Canadians would do one giant monthly stock-up trip. They had wrongly assumed that this was the default mode in Canada too. It seemed that in Canada, those massive stores were considered as not a natural fit for the way many Canadians actually lived. Then came their horrible supply chain meltdown, caused by them rushing and rolling out untested inventory software. This caused their distribution centers not being ready, as it seemed that the systems were buggered and did not talk to each other. This resulted in eager Canadian Target shoppers that walked into their bright and shiny stores being met with half-empty shelves. Soon, that became their brand identity, as Target Canada customers expected to be disappointed no matter what the Target vibes were. Target Canada forgot that, in retail, trust was the critical oxygen, and it seemed that they set themselves on fire while lighting the match. Further, the Canadians got sticker shock when they saw the Canadian Target prices. This resulted in many Canadians losing trust in Target and felt cheated by them. Target wrongly assumed and baked in their higher operating costs, import tariffs, and supply chain chaos into their pricing calculations. Target's brand story of great value became a joke as Canadians felt betrayed by the higher prices. Competitors like Walmart took advantage of Target's pricing structure and emphasized on their low prices. Less than 2 years after launch, in January 2015, Target announced that it was closing all its 133 Canadian stores. Not only 18,000 people lost their jobs, it seemed that Target lost over $2 billion in their Canada adventure. Target did not fail because Canadians did not get it, but rather it failed miserably because Target did not get Canada. Now, if Target's Canadian disaster was a fast collapse, Walmart's German disaster was slow, stubborn, and utterly painful. In 1997, Walmart entered Germany convinced that its formula would work anywhere. It bet heavily on its rock-bottom prices, giant stores, and American efficiency. 9 years later, in 2006, Walmart left Germany after losing around $1 billion. Walmart did not lose to some genius rival in Germany. Rather, they lost due to their lack of understanding of German culture and their inability to adapt. Walmart underestimated the German loyalty to discount chains like Aldi and Lidl that were built around German shopping habits. These discount chains offered an efficient, no-frills, and very high-quality products and services experience in their supermarkets. The American modus operandi of everything under one roof, superstore pitch, did not entice the Germans the same way. Walmart brought its signature American customer service into German stores, with greeters at the door, employees bagging groceries, and employees that were constantly smiling. In the United States, this was expected, and American customers welcomed the friendly customer service approach. However, in Germany, where privacy and efficiency are prized, it felt awkward, forced, and intrusive. Walmart found it very difficult to build loyalty in Germany. Interestingly, German customers often wondered as to why someone was smiling at them like they were in a commercial. The situation was further exacerbated when Walmart imported its corporate culture like morning chants, group exercises, pep rally, and other team-building exercises into their German operations. The Germans deemed the entire imported Walmart corporate culture as artificial. Walmart did not recognize that Germany had a strong tradition of professionalism and strict boundaries at work. This American corporation did not bother to know that they cannot force the Germans into corporate cheerleading, as it bred resentment. Walmart, which was well known for taking on unions in the USA, underestimated the German workers' unions. They did not realize that German unions were highly respected, powerful, and recognized by German society for fighting for deep worker protections. This attack on the unions led to a public narrative that Walmart was a ruthless American corporation that was trying to steamroll local unions that were protecting German workers. Walmart then outrageously tried to introduce and enforce an ethics code that banned romantic relationships between employees. In a culture that separated work and private lives, this was seen as invasive overreach. In Germany, Walmart did not lose because it was Walmart, but rather they lost because Walmart refused to adapt and stop being Walmart. Now let's talk about Starbucks, because Starbucks has managed to turn coffee into a global habit in dozens of countries. Starbucks got humbled in Australia. In 2000, they strode into the country with the same assumption that if it worked at home, then it should work everywhere. Starbucks ignored the fact that Australia already had a mature, sophisticated, and a fiercely independent coffee culture. For decades, European immigrants from Italy and Greece had built a cafe ecosystem with real craft, serving real espresso, and gaining local loyalty. Starbucks did not realize that the Australians were not waiting for Starbucks to introduce them to coffee. The Australians were already living in an authentic coffee world. Starbucks did not understand at all. Starbucks blatantly ignored the fact that Australians were not craving giant sugary drinks and standardized menus. They were used to flat whites, long blacks, and lattes made by the local barista who knew their orders well. Starbucks entered the Australian market and flooded prime city blocks with Starbucks cafes. They entered the market with higher prices, and many locals viewed their products as lower in quality when compared to the established baristas in the country. The Australians felt that the neighborhoods were being colonized by corporate America with endless green logos plastered everywhere. By 2008, Starbucks lost more than $100 million, and they closed 61 of their 85 cafes in the country. Although some Starbucks stores still exist in tourist-heavy locations, the original expansion has now become a case study on what happens when you try to sell coffee to a market that already has a matured coffee culture. Let us now move on to the translation blunders of KFC. Their translation became a national joke. When KFC entered China in the 1980s, their slogan, "Finger Licking Good," reportedly got translated in Chinese as "Eat your fingers off." For many Chinese, it sounded like a horror movie sponsored by the poultry industry. Although KFC recovered and became wildly successful in China, that early blunder is a case in point to reinforce the fact that idioms don't travel well. Be forewarned that literal translations can turn your brand into the butt of national jokes. Coors made a similar translation blunder in Spain. Their slogan, "Turn it loose," got translated into a phrase widely interpreted as "suffer from diarrhea." That certainly was not refreshing for a refreshing beer. It is not only language, but imagery matters too. Procter & Gamble introduced Pampers in Japan using the American stork delivering a baby. Although in the West, storks bring babies, in Japanese folklore, babies arrive by giant peaches floating down a river. So for Japanese consumers, a bird carrying a baby was not considered heartwarming. It was in fact considered creepy. In 2018, Dolce&Gabbana planned a major runway show in Shanghai, an event that was designed to deepen their hold in the massive Chinese market. To promote it, they released dumb and patronizing videos called Eating with Chopsticks, showing a Chinese model awkwardly eating Italian food with chopsticks, while a male narrator gave patronizing advice. Chinese social media reacted instantly and deemed the promotion as insulting, condescending, stereotypical, and racist. Further, apparently one of the founders, Stefano Gabbana, allegedly made offensive comments in a private chat about China, including using a poop emoji to describe the country. Within hours, Chinese celebrities announced that they were boycotting the brand. Major e-commerce platforms pulled all Dolce and Gabbana products from their sites. The Shanghai show was canceled. What was supposed to be a triumph became a global humiliation. So here is my takeaway. From empty shells in Canada, to awkward smiles in Germany, and to coffee culture rebellion in Australia, the lesson seems painfully clear. Whether you are a startup, a small business, or a multinational corporation, in global business, culture is everything. If you're a startup or small business, never assume that what works at home will automatically work abroad. This is what I would call a strategy that is built on denial. It behooves the startups and small businesses to take note that these multinational corporations had the money, teams, consultants, data, brand power, and everything. They still failed because they missed the human element. They did not understand customer habits, nor did respect local values. You need to know that cultural intelligence is not a soft skill, but rather a hard asset and a competitive weapon. Real global success comes from adapting, learning, and showing genuine respect for the people you want as your customers. So what is the biggest corporate cultural blunder you have ever seen or heard about? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into the business and leadership mistakes, please like, subscribe, and share widely. This is John Lincoln, signing off and reminding you that if you do not study the culture will study you and fail you miserably.